Hey, welcome to my second video. I took a bit more than I'd like to make this video, but just from this I think you can see the difference now since the first one. For those who are watching for the first time, what I'm making here is a game inspired by the Montella mod for Skyrim, which lets you interact with AI NPCs in a lot of ways, and elements from other games like Dwarf Fortress, Valheim, and Ringworld. The idea is to make something similar to a 3D version of the adventure mode of Dwarf Fortress, but with every NPC having an AI system in it. I'm trying to make it in a way so that you can interact with them and make things that will affect their behavior and influence their decisions, like talking random people into joining your party or village, or even starting wars between factions based on what you say to certain members of each faction. But I'm still a long way from this point. Right now I'm working on the procedural generated world first. So I finished my last video saying that I was going to work on lakes first, but then for some reason I decided to do everything else but the lakes, so I started by working on the river systems. I've used a spline system to generate the rivers. Basically, they start on places with high altitudes like mountains, then go downhill until they reach the ocean or they reach a point where they can't go any lower. And if enough rivers get to this point, a lake will be formed there. I already had this system in my first video, but the rivers were just a blue painted area on the ground representing where the rivers will be. What I've added now is how they carve into the terrain in order to make the channels. I carved the terrain using a function based on the depth of the channel and adjusted the steepness of the channel with a constant. Then I applied this to the whole path that the channels runs, and after this, the only thing left was to adjust in-game how the rivers were looking. And after the channels were carved, I added a mesh layer on top of them to act as the water. But I still haven't added any water shader to them, so they're still using the same texture as the river channel, it's all blue. But in the next video I already have this worked on. I'm going to separate it into a different texture for the river channel and a more rocky texture, and then add a proper shader to the water. After the rivers were relatively okay, I started working on biomes. I assigned biomes based on values from temperature, humidity, and drainage. For example, if a region has high temperature and very low humidity, it will be a desert. If the humidity increases, then it becomes a savanna. Increase the humidity even more and it will become a tropical rainforest. The same way, lowering the temperature will make a temperate region with grasslands and forests. And then cold regions will have taigas and tundras there. The next thing I added was detail layers based on biomes, as the map at this point was very flat. So I added specific noise layers for each biome. For more soft rolling biomes like grasslands and forests, I added only a few layers of fractal purling noise, but for mountains I also mixed the purling noise with some ridge noise to get some sharp edges of mountains. After all this was said, I thought I could already start the next step, adding grass, vegetation and trees to the world. I started with some from the Unity store to test the scattering system I was making to see if it worked, and after checking it worked, I thought it was time now to start making my own assets in the game. I first started on making a clump of grass in Blender to see how it would look like. I made several planes with a grass texture applied to them. It turned okay I guess, but looking now it keeps me remembering of the RuneScape cabbage. I'm going to make another one. And lastly, I tried to start making my own trees. After watching some tutorials, I gave it a try and after a few tries I managed to make my first one successfully. Kinda. I was aiming for a beech tree but ended with somehow this. But I think it's cool and I'll keep it for now. Then after this I tried to make an oak tree. Needless to say that I also failed to make something that resembles an oak tree. But the final result was way better than the first one, and I also discovered that I like modeling stuff in Blender quite a lot. I always liked drawing stuff, so I ended up enjoying modeling 3D things. It was just a matter of understanding how to do stuff there. And with those trees added to the game, I managed to get way fuller forests. I tried to place a lot of leaves in them just to get this view, where you can't really see much above you, with the canopy blocking the sun from reaching the ground. I still don't know if I will keep them in the game, but for now they will stay. Later, when the map reaches a good enough point, I will work on mechanics like chopping those trees down to get some wood and other materials, so this is where I'll see if those trees are going to work out well. Also, another thing is that I still have no idea what the art style of the game will be, so I'm just adding stuff based on what I think is cool. And when I have enough things in the game already, I'll take a look at everything and try to make a middle ground of the art style of everything. So I'll start to make things in the same style for the next ones. Well, this is mostly everything worth of comment that I've done in the last month. Right now I'm planning on remaking the entire world map generation. I think it was a week ago that I was watching a video from my fellow scholar, Dr. Caroy, on 2 Minutes Paper. And the video was about a new terrain generation algorithm based on image diffusion. It is a very recent paper published this year, so I'll try to replace my current midpoint displacement algorithm for this one. And if this works, it will replace a lot of other post-processes that I currently have, like erosion, tectonics, and hydrology simulations. And maybe even the noise layers for terrain detail won't be needed anymore. So for the next weeks, I'll be working on porting this code into something that can run on Unity, and then replacing the word height map for this one. And you will see the results in my next video. I think this will take less than a month or so. Probably. And with this said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.